Hello everyone, this is Josh, aka the Biscuit Eater, and I want to welcome you all to the 41st episode of my long-form Let's Play of The Outer Worlds. For those new to this series, to keep it pretty short, this is a bad ending run-through where I play an evil man named Bob who's betraying everybody. I'm a horrible person, we just are getting used to it at this point. Also, there is a link to the playlist in the description down below if you'd like to catch up. But that said, do also note if you'd like to watch me play this live, I do play every Wednesday from 7:30 p.m. until 10 p.m. Pacific Time on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/The Biscuit Eater. So I hope to see you there. But with that all set, let's go ahead and get on to the game and cue the intro.
All I need is me, myself, and I. Sometimes I wish I was somebody else. I was somebody else. I go my own way. Don't care what you say.
Alright, welcome back to folks from YouTube watching, and of course thank you again for those watching the stream for being here. We are continuing on with the Peril on Gorgon DLC for the Outer Worlds, and we were just actually going to start reading some logs on this computer here because we apparently found someone's office. Oh, I did not see you. 150? Holy carp! That's... I didn't know that lockpick could get that high. Okay, anyways, let's continue. So, looking at logs. February 1st, 2324. The morning I gave birth to a healthy child. This morning I gave birth to a healthy child. Perhaps it is a strange distinction to call her healthy, but after all I've endured to finally meet her, it matters. That she exists at all, against the odds, matters. I will call her Wilhelmina, after my late brother Wilhelm. I hope the law is kinder to her than it was to him. I hope for many things, truthfully, that she be smart and shrewd, that she be strong, relentless, undeniable. Most of all, I hope for her a steel spine, that she does not bend when Halcyon would break her, that she be stronger than I. Turn this off. Sorry again if the sound of the fans are a little high. It's really smoky out, and I'm trying to make sure that the air in here at least moves continuously. So, alright. March 17th, 2324. I must find Minnie a wet nurse. She demands to be fed throughout the day and night, and I simply cannot get a single thing done. The nurse will need to be exceptional, smart, educated, of means. Minnie must have the best start if she's going to survive the pit of vipers that is the Byzantium elite. Then there's the matter of a governess. I can't watch the child constantly, not if I'm to do my work. How soon must I begin looking? Naturally, she'll have to be exceptional as well. And exceptional Byzantines don't exactly grow on trees. I will persuade Harvey to investigate this for me. The man has little else to do. November 22nd, 2329, rather. I don't understand how anyone of ambition has time to keep a journal. I certainly don't. Yet here I am, indulging myself. Minnie's influence, no doubt. Her behavior concerns me. She's clingy, emotional. At 5, she'd be starting to show some personality. Not crying for her mother when I leave for another stint on Gorgon. This must be the fault of Marie, her governess, as Minnie certainly didn't learn this behavior from me. I'll have to fire the woman. It's clear she's not capable of instilling in Minnie a correct understanding of how to behave. Harvey despairs of ever finding a governess who meets my preposterous standards. He and I went in circles on this issue for hours, but he came around to my thinking eventually. Why shouldn't I want what's best for my daughter? Maybe I'll fire him, too. Sounds like a nice gal. Date, June 5th, 2337. I am at my wit's end with Minnie. At 13, she should have already mastered basic chemistry, physics, and mathematics, but she can barely handle long division. She struggles to remember the simplest equations and formulas, no matter how many times her governess raps her knuckles. By the time I was her age, I'd already made dynamite in my grandfather's laboratory. The only thing Minnie's making explode is my head. Her father asked why we don't just send her to a boarding school, but I bore the thought of her surrounded by those coddled idiots. More alarming still, she's begun to show an interest in romance serials and painting. She may have a strong grasp of color theory, and she shows some promise with watercolors, but surely that's the result of her education in spectroscopy, not any innate skill. What value has art, anyway? She gave me a truly dreadful painting of Francis this morning, and I haven't a clue what to do with it. Perhaps I'll stuff it in my desk. We'll have a good laugh over it when she's grown and finally come to her senses. Oh, 11 years later. April 28, 2348. Lucian appeared at the manor this morning. I thought him here for me, to finally wring my neck after our latest tiff. But no, it was much worse than that. He'd come to speak to Minnie. No need to guess why. She's taken it upon herself to manage the household these last few years. Since neither her father nor I have the time, or frankly, inclination. Under her watch, the staff's productivity has increased 35%, while reducing our costs to an astonishing 67%. We've saved tens of thousands of bits. Harvey tipped Lucian off, I expect. Now he wants to bring her on to help manage the Gorgon facilities, which I refused over Minnie's vociferous protestation. She cried after he'd left. Only wished I could tell her why. Let's hack. Deleted logs. Date, October 14th, 2348. How did I raise such a willful daughter? She's no longer requesting to join the project, but demanding. I'm ready. I can help you. It's what I want. She doesn't know what she's asking. Gorgon is not safe. Compound X is in the air. It's infected the water and the food. It's no longer just the test subjects and the laboratory techs in danger now. Even the general staff are beginning to feel its effects. Even I feel it. I'm tied up in knots. I know what I must do. The only way I can persuade her away, but it'll kill me to do it. Minnie, I say, you just don't have what it takes. You're too shallow, too simple, too weak. She'll hate me for it. I'm sure it will destroy her, but it will work. She'll be saved. That's all I care about now. And January 3rd, 2350. Harvey is gone. His body's still alive, but the man I married is dead. He broke into my office and stole the last of my release candidate ampules. Busted the door to splinters in his withdrawal fury. I had chartered a shuttle to bring him to the facility for medical care. Even convinced Priantha to oversee the transfer. He didn't want to, was worried it wasn't safe, but I begged him. Harvey killed the shuttle crew. Priantha too. The shuttle wouldn't take off without his pilot, and I couldn't stop his raging, so I left the ship on the landing pad for days, watched him tear it to pieces with his bare hands. He lost a lot of blood. I brought him inside once he'd finally passed out, and shoved him into a stasis solution tube. My work did this to him. Me, I did this. I'll tell Lucian. Surely now he'll delay the release. Surely after this. That's disturbing. Okay. And let's go to W. Ambrose. The search continues. I take from these entries that Mother was severe with her editorial pen. This is but one version of her, carefully curated, and not one I wanted to find. Where is her unvarnished stream of consciousness? Where is her spontaneous brilliance? The search continues. My efforts will inevitably steer me to Gorgon. What then, Minnie? What then? That's all there is. Hey. I want to know what you are! Why is there a flywheel? Okay, that's the entrance. Okay, so it looks like what we want is in there, so let's make sure we check everything else first. Oh yay, a bathroom. Toilet. Again, for those new to the stream, I pretty much pick up anything that's not nailed down that won't get me in actual trouble. Nothing else I can sell it off for a few bits here and there. Hey, nothing there. Did we get you already? Yes, we did. Okie dokie. Yeah. That's the first one, so not going there yet. I have master bedroom keycard.
Dear Wilhelmina, I hope this letter finds you well. No, it's too stilted. It sounds like I'm writing to request a loan. Dearest Wilhelmina, I regret to tell you... Law, no, that's worse. When have I ever called her dearest? She's my daughter. This should be easy. How can a mother not know how to talk to her own daughter? My love, I can no longer... For your safety, I must...
You, though.
Oh, hell. Even if she despises me for what I had to do, I should still be able to say goodbye. Minnie, I have to leave. and I don't intend to come back. I love you. I'm so sorry.
Dearest mother and father, I have paced the halls of this gilded cage long enough. Since you won't permit me to help the family business, I am leaving to start a business of my own. Am I too young for such ambitions? Perhaps. But that is the risk you take when you fashion a daughter in your image. Byzantium will welcome me with open arms. Won't that be a new sensation? If I ever return, it will be to claim my rightful spot at the head of his family. Here. So there's a person there. Definitely a person. Are you lucky? Huh, apparently not. So Wilhelmina is still alive.
So who the devil are you?
Alex Hawthorne, dashing space captain, smuggler, and free spirit.
You certainly paint a picture, and I'm certainly intrigued. Do you see that glowing chunk of space rock? That's Gorgon. My birthright, my burden, and the bane of my existence. I hate to drink alone, and this is my third. So join me in raising a glass. To Gorgon.
Gorgon.
To Gorgon. May cosmic winds shepherd her to the nearest star. I'm Wilhelmina Ambrose. But you can keep it short and call me Minnie.
It is Minnie.
Now, what brings you to my house, handsome? I take it you didn't come all this way for the beverages, the starry skies, or the pleasant company.
I'm here about a severed arm.
A severed arm? How positively ghoulish. You know this is a private residence, not a curio shop?
Does the name Lucky Montoya mean anything to you?
Lucky Montoya is my personal freelancer. Fascinating man. Very brooding and theatrical. Always staring into space and twirling a bullet over his knuckles. But if something happened to him... Oh dear. I suppose that makes him my former freelancer now?
You got fired just because you lost an arm?
Among other parts, I assume. What a time for his luck to run out. We were in the middle of something grand, and I really can't afford another setback.
What are you two doing?
Settling an old score. How would you like to be my new freelancer? There's been a recent vacancy, and I think you're well suited to the job.
You offer work to everyone who breaks into your home? Must be some kind of Byzantine tradition I ain't know about.
I'm looking for someone rough around the edges. A gorgeous, dashing scoundrel type. Incidentally, someone good with their hands.
If I see anyone like that, I'll let you know.
You're not grasping this, are you? You're the one I'm after. Allow me to lay out the facts, and you can decide for yourself if you want to be my chief investigator. My mother, Dr. Olivia Ambrose, worked for Spacer's Choice at the Gorgon Research Facility. She was brilliant, the top scientist in her field, until tragedy struck.
Not surprised. Spacer's Choice is one big accident waiting to happen.
I wish I could say otherwise. One day, Spacer's Choice shut down all research and evacuated Gorgon. Everyone had to scramble or risk getting left behind. It was chaos. Employees fled for their lives. Mother never made it home. I'm told she wasn't the only casualty that fateful day.
It must have been real hard on you, losing your mother all of a sudden like that. I'm sorry to hear it, ma'am.
Thank you. Ambrose ladies are supposed to be resilient to the unexpected, but this was especially hard on me. Mother's name has since been dragged through the mud. Spacer's Choice blames her for the collapse of Project Gorgon, and I just know they're lying.
What did they say about her?
Everything you can imagine and more. dereliction of duty, circulating anti-corporate memos, taking longer than average coffee breaks. The list goes on. Mother would not have allowed Project Gorgon to fail. Something happened on that asteroid, and my family took the fall for it.
What did you send Lucky to find?
The truth. Mother is gone, Gorgon is silent, and I deserve answers.
Answers to what end?
That will depend on what we learn. The scope of this cover-up is enormous. Whatever Spacer's Choice is hiding could bring ruin down on their heads. Or it could just be another dead end. We won't know till we look, will we?
Tell me more about your mother.
I admired Mother, but we weren't close. She disapproved of everything about me, really. I couldn't measure up to her example. She didn't make time for us. I remember thinking that she never wanted a child, and never forgave me for being one, naive and irresponsible as I was.
Research must have been important.
Maybe so, Captain, but I can't help feeling family should come first. Else, what are we working for?
Mother worked herself to the bone. She wanted to make the colony a better place, no matter who or what got sacrificed along the way. She never spared a thought for those of us who cherished her, who suffered for her idea of progress.
The Gorgon pulled you apart.
We weren't terribly close to begin with, I'm afraid. But that accursed asteroid certainly didn't improve our relations. Mother and Gorgon were made for each other. I had the misfortune to be stuck in the middle.
What do you think happened on Gorgon?
I don't know. And Spacer's Choice won't say. They don't discuss anything that tarnishes their brand. Gorgon has a dark history. The project fell apart. Personnel were shuffled across the system. With Mother gone, now I'm all that's left.
We know the answer to this one, but where's your father in all of this?
Father lost more than his job on Gorgon. I'll say no more than that. The asteroid may look like a glittering jewel, but I assure you the resemblance ends there. Gorgon is poisonous to the core. One might even say cursed. I need your help, Captain. Project Gorgon killed Mother and disgraced the Ambrose name, and no one has been held accountable. Spacer's Choice buried the past like a dirty secret.
Are you interested in justice, revenge, or both?
Neither. It's vindication I want. Whatever happened on Gorgon wasn't Mother's fault. I simply need the evidence to prove it. We're going to drag the truth kicking and screaming into the light. Even if it means bringing ruin and humiliation to Spacer's Choice. All the evidence I need should be in Mother's journal. You can find it in her office on Gorgon, in the heart of the old research facility.
First, I have some questions about the job.
I'm not surprised. Between the family drama and the corporate conspiracy, it must feel like you've stepped on a landmine. Speak freely, Captain.
What good is your mother's journal to you now?
I suspect it will prove that corporate greed and incompetence were to blame for the calamity at Gorgon, and not Mother. Mother was a brilliant woman. Difficult, cold, unreachable even, but brilliant.
Does Spacer's Choice have taken the journal?
Spacer's Choice evacuated in a hurry, leaving a fortune's worth of equipment in their wake. Mother's journal would have escaped their notice. This is my last hope of redeeming the Ambrose name. I don't like my chances, but I have to try. And I need help. Your help.
Why did you wait before starting the investigation?
I didn't want to go anywhere near Gorgon. Once I exhausted all my options, the search led me back here. I even had Mother declared legally dead. Would you believe it took 5 years to process the paperwork?
Wait, what?
Allow me to explain. Mother's body is still on Gorgon. No body means no death certificate, which means no inheritance. I killed Mother, just on paper, of course, so I could claim my inheritance. We wouldn't be standing here if I didn't have access to the family fortune. I once assumed the mansion and the money would be enough to redeem the Ambrose name. But even in Byzantium, prestige must be earned, and it can so easily be lost.
Are you saying you just want to break into high society?
Break back into high society, yes.
I thought you were trying to vindicate your mother.
I'm trying to do several things at once. None of them easy. The smear campaign against Mother was the work of cowards. I'm vindicating the family name for her, for the colony, and for my future.
Yeah, there's the motive, yeah, exactly. Exactly, Neon Ronan. Exactly. What do you stand to gain?
Everything that Mother lost. This colony is in trouble. The lunatics at Spacer's Choice are running the asylum, and we need better people to wield their influence. After Gorgon, I quickly discovered that the Ambrose name was cursed, for lack of a better term. I had no place among the decision-makers. No seat at the table. That is why I'm clearing the record and vindicating the Ambrose line. For Mother, for me, and for the generations who will one day inherit Halcyon.
Do you think your plan will work?
I know it will.
How does this investigation get Lucky killed?
You know as much as I do, I'm afraid. Spacer's Choice abandoned Gorgon, but the asteroid is far from unoccupied. Between the Marauders, the wildlife, and whatever escaped the labs, danger abounds.
Marauders. I hate Marauders.
I'm not even sure how Marauders arrived on Gorgon, but the place is absolutely crawling with them. Just watch yourself. If you aren't careful, you stand to lose more than an arm. I believe that covers it all. Are you ready to get started? We mustn't allow the trail to get cold.
Danger and corporate intrigue. That sounds like my kind of job.
I admire your enthusiasm. This manor has echoed with my ennui, and I can feel you breathing new life into the walls. When you reach Gorgon, pack a weapon you trust. The corporate lockdown hasn't stopped the wilderness from squirming in through the cracks.
What can I expect to face on Gorgon?
I've never understood why, but Gorgon is teeming with marauders. They almost seem drawn to sorrow and misfortune. Then there's the test subjects, those who survived anyway. Ravenous creatures left behind like so much salvage.
What did you tell Lucky about this job?
I told him everything I've told you. Just the facts. Maybe a couple of harmless embellishments. Why?
Trying to calculate the odds of this gig getting me killed.
It's sure to be 100% with that attitude. Still, you're smart to ask. Lucky spent most of our time together spinning a pistol around his index finger. Not sure he listened to any of my advice. But you won't let me down, will you, Captain?
The more I hear about this asteroid, the worse it sounds.
Perhaps we should cut the Q&A short in that case. I don't want you having second thoughts. There's a little
test
saloon near
subjects.
Gorgon's landing pad, the Sprat Shack. Lucky was renting a room, so if you want to follow his trail, that would be the place to start.
Oh, you think maybe they got a little mascot? Like a sprat in a tiny hat?
Just so we understand each other, money is no object. I'm willing to squander the family fortune if you get me what I want. Between your payment and any salvage you happen across, you'll walk away from this rich enough to buy a mansion of your own. How does that sound?
Music to my ears.
Finally, I get to put my inheritance to work. Here's your nav key, Captain. Safe travels.
Bite the nav key, yep, it's real.
How can you tell? On second thought, don't answer that. A word of advice before you go, Captain. Trust no one. Mother's office is in the heart of the Gorgon facility. You're free to salvage anything that isn't nailed down. I only want what's mine.
Mysterious heiress, unexpected gainful employment. It's like something out of a detective serial.
SAM units cannot perform any jobs that have not been accepted by the registered customer.
Alright, yeah, Neon Ronan. Test subjects, exactly. Well, we saw her mother mentioned in her logs something about something on the on Gorgon driving the dad mad. I'm assuming it's something like that. There's some sort of chemical, some such that's actually causing people to go mad. So they were testing something, and in the first ad we saw, there was something about adrenatime, which makes me think it's probably something about adrenatime. Just knowing the way the storytelling in this game seems to work. Now, before we head down, just want to make sure there's nothing out here. I love how my companions can just teleport. Oh, everyone saw this. What are you? I didn't have to... Okay, well. Daily routine. Sweep the Tranquility Garden for Miss Olivia. Oil the fish for Mr. Harvey. Repeat. When they hired me on as groundskeeper, I assumed there'd be grounds to keep. I'm not even allowed inside the manor. Everyone told me the Ambrose family keeps to themselves, but they're a bunch of hermits, save for the little one. Guess I had to find a hobby. Mr. Harvey dropped his keycard in the pond. I'll hold onto it in case he ever comes looking, but I won't go near the house. Wouldn't want to get between Miss Olivia and her research. Whatever her research was, it was a nasty piece of work, is the only thing I can tell here. There's a pond somewhere.
Caution! Sanitation and maintenance job fulfilled.
If nothing else, we'll at least have that for combat for this episode, right?
Wish I could do that.
And this, my friends, is why you always check every corner of the map. Where's this pond he mentioned? I haven't seen a pond. Yeah, there is no pond. Interesting.
This unit is under construction. Thank you for your patience.
Alright, let's go down to Gorgon. And also check that gun I picked up, even though I can't use it. So, I made the choice of playing a melee character. What are you? Frozen power the closer you are to death, just like a real doctor. Interesting. No, I won't be using that, but we will put it away.
We are now in orbit above Gorgon. Take someone to watch your back, please.
Of course.
Analyzing location. The Sprat Shack. Error. Vermin suction nozzle not attached. This unit is unprepared for specialized eradication procedures.
Oh, nice. Always pick up everything. Every little piece. Okay. So that up there is my current target. So how do I get down? Okay, I guess. You are not a... Ah, here we go. There we are. I see a human.
I got supplies if you need them. No one lasts long on Gorgon unprepared. You looking for supplies, stranger? Let's stock up here. If you run low on bullets out in Gorgon's far reaches, there ain't no one round here liable to help you out. Let me know if you're looking for something particular.
This is Gorgon?
You mean you came out to this asteroid without knowing nothing about it? Me too. Heard it was wild here and couldn't resist. Trouble is, if you wander off to somewhere you oughtn't be, like way out in Gorgon's farthest reaches, odds are slimmer of your bits finding their way to my pockets. If you want my advice, stick close to the Sprat Shack, unless you fancy having your limbs torn off and eaten.
Give him my best unimpressed look.
On second thought, who needs my advice? Just be sure you watch out for the marauders. That's the #1 thing. Oh, and the Mance. You watch out for marauders, Mance, and Charles from accounting, and you'll probably be fine.
Who's Charles from accounting?
Only the meanest marauder on Gorgon, and also anywhere else. That man is crazier than a bag of canids and twice as likely to bite. He will bust your head open like an overripe mock apple if he so much as sees you. I ain't joking. He'll snap you in half like stale bread noodles.
You're making me hungry.
Sorry. Been a minute since I last ate. Charles from accounting is like... Imagine if you took 3 of the most howling mad marauders you could find and mashed them together. That's Charles.
Gross.
Not like that, Hullhead. Metaphorically. Well, I warned you. If you run off and get exploded to death by a madman with a rocket launcher now, that's on you.
Go back to the part about the rocket launcher?
Sure, okay. He's got a rocket launcher.
Is he any good with it?
I don't know. Hard to guess how many he's killed, given the explosions tend to obliterate any bodies. I'm joking. No one bothers looking for bodies.
I'm starting to wonder if there ain't a person on this rock entirely out of their minds.
Look, long story short, you do not fuck with Chuck. Best to avoid the Marauder camp entirely. That's my 2 bits on the matter.
I take it that evacuation alarm isn't urgent?
Huh? Oh, you don't gotta worry about that. It's got something to do with that scrapped Spacer's Choice project from way back. Damn alarm's been hollering at us for 5 years if it's been a day. You know, I don't dream anymore. It's all, please evacuate in an orderly fashion.
Should I turn it off?
I won't stop you if you want to have a go at it. But so you know, it's gonna take more than giving that control terminal a good old-fashioned pummeling. I know, because even Von Hoffman couldn't bash it in. And I seen that tough son of a gun throw a man clean across the Sprat Shack one time like he were a toss ball.
What can you tell me about Project Gorgon?
Only that Spacer's Choice shut it down in a big hurry. From what I heard, some of their folks got left behind even. Don't seem like the project ended well.
About Charles from accounting.
Yeah?
Why is he called that?
His name is Charles and he used to work in accounting?
I don't know what I was expecting.
Anything else you needed? Found a pickaxe in the mine like none I've ever seen before. Could be awful useful if you're the violent type.
Ooh, special pickaxe. I can't even come close to affording. Alright, so. Sure, nothing special in this list. Okay, we're good. And this is the part that always upsets people. I only ever use Adreno. There we go. Still don't have enough to afford the pickaxe though. Okay. So, okay, what's that? Lock, but okay. Let's go up now to. Actually, can we go around?
Got it. Heads down.
Boop, 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 boop. You don't need it. Okay. So up there is where I need to be. I love how they just teleport like that. Serialized law and order and law and organization. Electricity rationing in effect. By accessing this terminal, you consent to paying 1 bit for every action selected. Check electricity rationing bill. Play Tran Dominic currently owes 9,508 bits. Nope. History. Outgoing shipments. Accessing log archive, displaying departed freight. Okay, so shipment. 2,000 cartons containing redacted. Redischarged staff, 5 reassigned staff. Alert manifest contains content exceeds the recommended maximum. Okay. Garcia's Gorgon. Okay, Stellar Bay. 100 cartons containing prototype redacted. 2 tons raw ore of redacted. 15 assigned. So there's something that's being ignored there. So income. So shipment. 350 cartons containing 100 units each sterile injection ampules. High pressure steel cylinders containing oxygen. 25 volunteers. 3 corporate security guards containing 3 firearms each. 500 rounds light ammunition, 2,000 round heavy ammunition, 1 flat containing 10 units Moonman standee. He's waking up.
This unit reminds you that death is a prison without doors.
Okie dokie. Yeah, it looks like someone forgot to log out of that particular terminal. I don't know. So paying off their debt may be a little side quest. Not sure I want to find out. Woohoo! Alright. Right. Okay, so I could have gone up that way as well. Not surprising that all this stuff would be just left behind. I mean, obviously I know why we have it there, so we have something to loot, but you think thematically. Okay. Oh, and looking at the time, we are actually at the 40-minute mark once again. I'm going to go ahead and close out this particular episode by ending the YouTube recording, and then just be a moment. Alright, so with that, we're going to go ahead and close out this particular episode of The Outer Worlds. Thank you so much for joining along on this adventure with me. I hope that you're having as much fun watching the videos as I have creating them. Of course, if you do like what I'm doing, you've gotten the spiel before. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. I do try to respond to every comment that I get, so I really do appreciate when you reach out to me. Of course, also make sure that you click the notification bell. That way you get notices whenever new videos go live. And as well, you can follow me on some of my other platforms to get notifications there. I do post on Twitter at Biscuit Eater YT, on Facebook at The Biscuit Eater, and of course, I do stream live every Monday and Friday on Twitch at twitch.tv/The Biscuit Eater. I can talk. I really can. But with that all said, folks, thank you again for joining. Hope you have a lovely day. And until I see you next time, game on, love.